Okay, we're back here for quiz 16. Sorry for a bit late, but there was some guys at the front there with bread. Tell me all about the advantages of eating brown bread, and couldn't riddle them. Two guys in suits, the best things about eating brown bread, how it's good for you and all. So if you see them coming to our door, don't let them in. They're two Jehovah's Witnesses. So, right, that's it. Here we go. Round one. Same thing. Just before we start, big shout out to Davey. He beat me to the Fob 4 the other day. I think I was in at 6. I was a bit slow texting in, and he was 4. So big shout out to Davey, Caroline, and girls from the Shankill Hospice, Josie and Bill, Stevie and Rita, Billy Gray, can't remember who else. Right, we're going to go on to round one, and the same as usual. You go into the end of the round and then pause it, and then rewind it back if you need to hear them again, or once it's to the end of this, pause it, because I'm going to give you the answers. Okay, round one. Which commentator said, "Some people are on the pitch, they think it's all over, it is now"? Who was the commentator that said that? Some people are on the pitch, they think it's all over, it is now. Who was the commentator's name? Number 2. How did Rapunzel, right, that's Rapunzel, the girl with the hair. How did Rapunzel return the prince's sight in the original story? So the prince was blind. So what part of her did she put on the prince's eyes to cure his sight? He was blind, so he got his sight back. So what did she do, Rapunzel? Number 3. What's the name of the Egyptian sun god? What is the name of the Egyptian sun god? Them two's out in the spa, if you hear that, if it's a bit noisy. Them two's out the back there messing about. Right, number 4. What was the name of Steptoe and Son's horse in the show Steptoe and So? What was the name of their horse? And number 5. How many yards are there in a chain? It's a length, and it's called a chain. But how many yards is in a chain? I think it's a length between wicket and wicket, no, on a cricket pitch, between the 2 wickets. Number 6. What is the name of the city in India where expanding on impact bullets were invented? What is the name of the city in India where expanding on impact bullets were invented? And number 7. Who wrote the poem The Raven? Who wrote the poem The Raven? And the final one in this round is, what was the name of the first Carry On film? What was the name of the first Carry On film? Okay, pause it, and I'm going to give you the answers here. Answer 1. Which commentator said, "Some people are on the pitch, they think it's all over, it is now"? Kenneth Wolstenholme. How did Rapunzel return the prince's sight in the original story when he went blind? She cried her tears, and she put her tears on the prince's eyes, and he got his sight back. So it was tears. What was the name of the Egyptian sun god? Ra. And what was the name of Steptoe and Son's horse? Hercules. How many yards are there in a chain? There's 22. And what's the name of the city in India where expanding on impact bullets were invented? Well, it was named after the city, Dum Dum. It's a city in Bengal called Dum Dum, invented by a guy called Bertie Clay in the munitions part, probably belonging to the British Army over there. Some Bertie Clay. I think they're banned now. I don't think you can get Dum Dum bullets because they're lethal. Things would kill you or something. So I think they're put a big hole in you. As soon as they hit you, the soft metal, they were soft metal in front, so when they hit you, the metal flattens and puts a big hole wherever it hits. So who wrote the poem The Raven? Edgar Allan Poe. What was the name of the first Carry On film? It's Carry On Sergeant. Okay, write their answers down, add your score up, and see what you've got. We're going to go on to number 2, and this is literature around. This is books. Who wrote the book The Old Man of Loch Nagar? Who wrote the book The Old Man of Loch Nagar? Number 2. What is the name of Sherlock Holmes' older brother? What is the name of Sherlock Holmes' older brother? And number 3. Who wrote the book A Farewell to Arms? Who wrote the book A Farewell to Arms? And number 4. Whose most known book was The Carpetbaggers? Whose most known book was called The Carpetbaggers? Number 5. In Ernest Hemingway's For Whom the Bell Tolls, what's taken place at the time? What events taken place at the time in Ernest Hemingway's For Whom the Bell Tolls? Number 6. Who wrote the book Rip Van Winkle? Who wrote the book Rip Van Winkle? Number 7. Which 2 books do the castaways automatically get on desert island discs? Which 2 books do the castaways automatically get on desert island discs? And number 8. What is the title of the anti-slavery book written by Harriet Beecher Stowe? What's the title of the anti-slavery book written by Harriet Beecher Stowe? Okay, go over them questions. If you need to get any, rewind it back, and I'm going to give you the answers here in a couple of seconds. So, number 1, answers. Who wrote the book The Old Man of Loch Nagar? That was Prince Charles. And what's the name of Sherlock Holmes' older brother? Mycroft. Who wrote the book A Farewell to Arms? Ernest Hemingway. Whose most well-known book was The Carpetbaggers? Harold Robbins. In Ernest Hemingway's For Whom the Bell Tolls, what is taking place at the time in the background? It's the Spanish Civil War. Number 6. Who wrote the book Rip Van Winkle? Washington Irving. Which 2 books do the castaways automatically get on desert island discs? The Bible and the complete works of Shakespeare. I find it hard to say automatically. Right. What's the title of the anti-slavery book written by Harriet Beecher Stowe? It was Uncle Tom's Cabin. Right. Get your answers down. Write them up. I'm looking for a 26 or 27 for you this week. This is the music round. Some people like it, some people don't like it. I like the music. What was the only number 1, UK number 1 by Madness? Okay, what was the only UK number 1 by Madness? They only had number 1. According to a Madness song, where was their house located? According to a Madness song, where was their house located? Number 3. In 1959, the UK had an entry in the Eurovision Song Contest called Sing Little Birdie. Who sang it? Okay, in 1959, the UK had an entry into the Eurovision Song Contest called Sing Little Birdie. Who sang it? And number 4. Where have all the good men gone and where are all the gods? Are the opening lyrics to what song? Where have all the good men gone and where are all the gods? Are the opening lyrics to what song? Number 5. Which group had a 1968 hit with Everlasting Love? Number 6. Who had the original big hit with One Day I'll Fly Away? Who had the original hit with the song One Day I'll Fly Away? Number 7. Which school went to number 1 with the song There's No One Quite Like Grandma? So which school went to number 1 with the song There's No One Quite Like Grandma? And the video for which Michael Jackson song Would You Have Seen His moonwalk dance for the first time? The video for which Michael Jackson's song would you have seen his moonwalk dance for the first time? What was the song? Okay, pause it. Write your answers down, and I'm going to go with the answers here. Number 1. What was the only UK number 1 by Madness? It was House of Fun. The only one number 1 in the UK. They had 2 in Ireland. The House of Fun and Wings of a Dove. They got the number 1 in Ireland. And the biggest hit in the US was Our House in the US. According to Madness, where was their house located? In the middle of their street. In the middle of their street. And in 1959, the UK had an entry into the Eurovision Song Contest called Sing Little Birdie. Who sang it? It was Pearl Carr and Teddy Johnson. That was in 56. Or sorry, that was in 50, I think it was 59 or something. The contest started in 1956. There was only 7 countries in it, and you had to sing in your own language. You couldn't sing English. You had to sing it on your own language, and that changed in 1973, just when ABBA won it there. And that's why they had hits in the early. I was reading about this. They had hits like Boom Bang a Bang Bang. So a lot of countries that speak English could know some of the lyrics anyway. So they tried to put words in it that most people would know. Where are we? Where have all the good men gone and where are all the gods? What song is it? Holding Out for a Hero, Bonnie Tyler. Which group had a 1968 with Everlasting Love? That was Love Affair. Number 6, who had a big hit, original one with One Day I'll Fly Away? It was Randy Crawford. Which school went to number 1 with the song There's No One Quite Like Grandma? That was St Winifred's School Choir. And had a wee famous girl in it. They went on to become a wee bit famous there. She does Tenable now, and she's in Coronation Street, and I heard that a wee series is on TV. Sally Lindsay was in that song, which was when she was a kid. Right, the video for which Michael Jackson's song would you have seen his moonwalk dance for the first time? It was Billie Jean. Okay, scores down. Right, on to round 4. Which brand had the advertising slogan The Master Chocolatier? Which brand had the advertising slogan The Master Chocolatier? And number 2. Which medal was awarded to the island of Malta in 1942? Which medal was awarded to the island of Malta in 1942? Number 3. What word can go before cup, spoon and beg? What word can go before cup, spoon and beg? And number 4. How many stripes are there on the American flag? How many stripes are there on the American flag? And number 5. How is a lima bean more commonly known? How is a lima bean, L-I-M-A, more commonly known? According to Alfred Lord Tennyson's poem, how many rode in the charge of the Light Brigade? According to the Alfred Lord Tennyson poem, how many rode in the charge of the Light Brigade? Number 7. What type of sweets are mostly mentioned by Doctor Who? Especially the 4th one. What was his favourite sweets? What type of sweets are mostly mentioned by Doctor Who? Especially the 4th one. What was the favourite sweets of Doctor Who? Number 8. A filbert is the nut of which tree? And they're called something else, but they can be called filberts as well. So a filbert is the nut of which tree? That's the last one in that round. So get your answers down if you want to rewind it, and I'm going to give you the answers here. What brand had the advertising slogan The Master Chocolatier? Lindt, L-I-N-D-T, Lindt. Which medal was awarded to the island of Malta in 1942? That was the George Cross. What word can go before cup, spoon and bag? Tea bag. Teacup, teaspoon. Okay, so it's teacup, teaspoon, tea bag. So tea. How many stripes are there on the American flag? 13, representing the 13 original colonies. How is the lima bean more commonly known? The butter bean. According to Alfred Lord Tennyson's poem, how many rode in the charge of the Light Brigade? There was 600. What type of sweets are mostly mentioned by Doctor Who, especially the fourth one? Jelly babies. Always when you have a jelly baby. Jelly babies. A filbert is a nut of which tree? It's a hazel tree, more commonly called hazelnuts, but they're called filberts as well. Because the peak harvest time falls on the same day as St. Filbert's Day. Right then your scores come up the last round. So hopefully you're on about 22 or something, or 23. There's going to be a great chance of getting over 25, 26, 27. Number 1. How many spikes are there on the Statue of Liberty's crown? How many spikes are there on the Statue of Liberty's crown? And number 2. Cindy Birdsong was a member of which girl group? Cindy Birdsong was a member of which girl group? And number 3. Sigourney Weaver played Ripley in which 1979 film? Sigourney Weaver played Ripley in which 1979 film? Okay, number 4. Gallipoli. You've heard of the films. There's a film called Gallipoli and all. But what country would you find Gallipoli? Where is Gallipoli? And number 5. Who was the actress and model Mike Tyson was married to in the 1980s? Who was the actress and model Mike Tyson was married to in the 80s? Oops, I haven't got that group down. The Scottish guys, the Scottish guys who does all the walking. Scottish guys. The Proclaimers are 2 brothers. One is Charlie. Who's the other brother? The Proclaimers is 2 brothers, and one is Charlie. What's the name of the other brother? Number 7. She's Dame Leslie Lawson now, but she was born Leslie Hornby in 1949. How's she better known? So she's now called Dame Leslie Lawson, but she was born Leslie Hornby in 1949. How's she better known as? Okay, there was a TV series called Life on Mars, but the detective, he went back in time. But they had a second series, they had the sequel to that series. What was that called? It wasn't called Life on Mars. What was the second series called? Okay, so that's your full 8, that's your 40. So pause it and I'm going to give you the answers. They're getting noisier at the back ends too, wants to see me doing this. Right, how many spikes are there on the Statue of Liberty's crown? There are 7. Some say it represents the 7 seas, some say the 7 continents, and some say it's the sun's rays. So they don't really know it. I think it's one of them 3. Cindy Birdsong was a member of which girl group? She wasn't the original one. She replaced Florence Ballard in 1967. It's the Supremes. Sigourney Weaver played Ripley in the 1970 film Alien. It was Alien. And Gallipoli, what country would you find it? Turkey. And who was the actress and model that Mike Tyson was married to in the 80s? It was Robin Givens. And the 2 brothers, the Proclaimers, one is Charlie. Who's the other one? Craig and Charles Reed, the Proclaimers. Number 7, she was Dame Leslie Lawson now, but she was born Leslie Hornby in 1949. How's she better known as? Twiggy. And the TV series Life on Mars was what's the sequel called? The second series was called Ashes to Ashes. Okay, I'll do them scores up and see how you've done. Hopefully some of you've got past 26 or 27. And I'll see you again. Have a good weekend. See you soon.